Have you ever seen a Fluke vibrate like a chatterbait? I hadn't either until we designed the Core Tackle Scamper Rig. This Fluke hook will make any soft plastic jerkbait vibrate when you reel it in at a fast pace. This is actually an East Coast secret on blueback herring lakes, and a lot of guys would wrap lead wire around a straight shank 0-degree hook. The problem with these homemade versions is that you wouldn't get that perfect scampering or vibrating action out of your bait if you didn't have the lead perfectly in position. And even after a few fish, the lead would kind of unwrap and you would lose that action. So we decided to make a poured version which gets the exact action you want every single time, and this hook has been absolutely deadly for me fishing both shallow and offshore this year. And I recently took a trip out to Beaver Lake where I smashed them on this thing. So let's see how I found those fish and put them in the boat. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are loaded here again. Got it right here. Oh my gosh, good one. Oh, small leech. Nice fish right there. Really solid spotted bass on that scamper. Okay, I may have just found the spot right here, guys. We have a saddle that is cutting between two islands. They're pulling a ton of current right now here on Beaver Lake, and I'm starting to see quite a few fish scattered out on the bottom here. You can see them at right here, 15 feet on that 2D sonar, a bunch of them. I marked them a second ago. I'm gonna actually pull up different, oh my gosh, there's so much happening here. Look at all these fish, they're stacked up. This is the perfect spot for the situation right now, guys. We are about to freaking smash them right here. You can see that hard drop right there, right on that drop on the side scan view, and there's fish on that side scan right all in through here. There's that hard break, and the reason this spot is so good, I'm just going to mark a few of these fish with a fish icon right down this drop. The reason this spot is so good right now is because they're pulling current on Beaver Lake. The current's actually getting pulled across this. They're pulling it this way, and there's a really nice creek channel right here, and that water is pushing through that creek channel, cutting down between the island and this point here on this main lake, and it is just the absolute perfect spot to be fishing with the current flowing here. They're drawing the lake down because it's 9 feet high, and this is the exact type of area you should be looking for in these conditions. So I'm going to actually just zoom in here on my mapping. Let's get lined up with our mapping, make a few casts, and see if we can put a few fish in the boat. Okay, so we're about to get lined up on the spot here, guys. There are fish actually busting way out in front of me here up on top of this little saddle. I'm gonna try to basically get as close to that edge. Oh my gosh, they're going, oh, first cast. They're going crazy up here, guys. They're busting everywhere. There's so many of them up here. We saw like 10 on down scanner 2D. Whenever you see 10 fish like that, you know there's gonna be way more. They are choking right now, guys, up on top of this thing. Got that fish on the Scamper Rig Core Tackle. I'm gonna get back down there, get another bait rigged up. There's so many of them down there, guys. This is crazy. Okay, let's get re-rigged. So basically, got our Scamper Rig. This is a 4/0 1/32 ounce scamper with this Yamamoto D-shad. All I'm gonna do is just thread that bait on there, try to keep it as straight as I can while under pressure. And I'm gonna rig it through the belly because that actually gets this bait to keel properly. I'll talk about more here in a second. Oh my gosh, my line's twisted. There's fish busting everywhere. This is crazy. Okay, let's get back up here on these waypoints. We're right on them. Man, that first fish absolutely cracked it. All I'm doing again with the Scamper Rig is throwing it up there, letting it sink, burning it a few times, letting it sink, and you're trying to just basically play cat and mouse with these fish, keeping it away from them. And the faster you reel that bait, oh my gosh, the more likely they are to eat it. That fish came up and crushed it. I can see 3 or 4 of them right here. He pulled my shorts down on that again. These are not the biggest fish, they're just little spotted bass. They're absolutely cracking it. These little spots can't get this bait in their mouth. I kind of want to keep them honest with this little bit bigger bait. This D-shad's a 4-inch bait. I'd go to something even smaller, but this is a good size for catching really good quality fish and a lot of numbers too. I'm just burning that bait back. Man, it's like every single cast up there right now. We graphed them up, obviously. We know they're there. We just gotta get them in the boat. There we go, got another. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Got him, here we go. One came off and literally another one grabbed it right as that one came off. Nice one right here. They're busting everywhere here, guys. Scamper Rig is getting them in the boat. That's what I'm talking about. Nice fish right there. Got them on that Scamper Rig. Man, they're blowing up everywhere on this spot, guys. It's unbelievable. I grabbed out a bunch more baits. I've missed a few fish for whatever reason. There's a lot of little guys out here that just don't get this bait, and that's just typical with the spotted bass. But I'm trying to throw this little bit bigger bait because when they do end up getting it, they're going to be a keeper. There's a lot of what I believe to be like 8 to 10 inchers and stuff out here, and I don't really want the 8 to 10 inchers to bite. I want the bigger spotted bass. Got him. There we go. Good one on the glide here. Nice fish. I had several fish short strike in the Scamper Rig. They were just kind of not quite getting it, so I wanted to switch over to something else, and I had a feeling it was these smallies. A lot of times these smallies will slap at the bait, and these are good quality fish. I mean, really good ones. So I switched over to the glide. There we go. That's the Bent Bill Customs little bender. I've talked about it before on this channel, and when fish are schooling, it is an absolutely sweet bait. Nice fish right there. Finally, I think got a bait these fish might actually be able to commit to a little bit better. They were kept pulling my shorts out on the Scamper Rig, and again, a lot of times when there's a short strike and you want to go to a bait with some treble hooks, and this glide bait is just such a fun way to catch them. It's kind of hard to cast sometimes. That cast, I just completely missed those fish, but it didn't matter. He absolutely came up and crushed it right there. I was way away from those fish. This little glide bait has so much drawing power to it, and these are just good fish. It's weird that they kept on short striking the Scamper because these aren't small fish. They're just kind of slapping at it, and man, that's a good spotted bass. We got the bait now though. Beautiful fish. Look at that guy. These are good quality fish out here on Beaver. That's a really nice one. On that Bentville Customs little bender, if you guys want to pick up this bait, they're available at hook, line, and sinker, as well as Tulsa tackle. And man, that's a big spotted bass right there. Let me get him unhooked. Beautiful fish. That's a really nice spotted bass. Actually, let's get him back down there, get some more. Man, this little bender, guys, is a deadly little mini glide bait. There's fish just all over the boat right now, every direction. And all I'm doing to work this thing is casting it out and just winding in. There's another one. Oh, came off. It's literally every cast with this thing. It has so much drawing power to it. And all I do is just fire it out, get that bait in front of me, and just wind it in like you'd be reeling in a crankbait. You don't need to do any fancy chopping or anything most of the time to get these fish to commit to this bait. Sometimes if you do want to chop it a little bit, it can help, especially in dirtier water. But I find in these clear water conditions, just straight retrieving it in is the best thing you can do. Again, it doesn't cast the best. Gosh, there's fish everywhere around me here. It's unbelievable. And you just kind of have to do your best to cast it out there. I'm using just a jerkbait rod on this because it's a little bit more limber and helps me just get that bait out there. And right now I'm just kind of getting in the area where these fish are blowing up, winding that thing back. Let's see if we can get another one on it. Oh, there's like 4 behind it right now. Oh my gosh, they're following it all the way back to the boat. They didn't commit on it. There's fish busting over here too. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hammered on this glide bait too. I'm a little bit confused why I'm getting so many taps even on this glide bait, just like the Scamper Rig, where they just aren't like fully getting it. Even with these treble hooks, these fish are hitting it, but they're not getting it in their mouth. And with that Scamper, the same thing was happening. The only thing I can think about is these smaller little spotted bass are coming up, hitting it, and they're just not quite getting it in their mouth. With both these baits are just a little bit big. Maybe if I went to a little bit smaller bait, I could get those smaller spotted bass, but I really like this glide bait because it does get that better quality bite. There we go, got another one here on the Scamper. It was weird, I was throwing the glide and they wouldn't eat it. So I picked the Scamper back up and they ate it that time. It's so weird. You almost have to like kind of experiment with different baits on these fish. And when you catch a couple fish on one, you gotta stop, throw something different, and then they'll eat it again. I will say that the fish on the Scamper Rig are definitely smaller than the fish there on the glide bait. So if I had to pick, I would prefer to fish the glide bait, I think. It just castability wise is really tough right now because I can't cast it in this wind super easy. behind the boat now. Got them. Oh my gosh, they're behind the boat. I moved up following some, and then, oh, that's a good spotted bass. Okay, maybe the Scamper Rig does get the good bites too. I might just need to be weeding through them. That might be the deal. Just when a good one wants to get the scamper, they're getting it, and that's a good spotted bass. So I might just have to weed through them. It's a nice fish right there, really solid spotted bass on that scamper. I think that this, you have to kind of get through all these little guys. There's so many fish in this area that you're not going to get every single one of them to bite, but when there's a good one around, a solid, 15-incher like that, they choke the Scamper Rig. And that's actually a really good sign for me, because I prefer a bait that gets bigger bites and doesn't get a lot of the little guys to bite, compared to a bait that gets every little fish in the boat, because sometimes like a fish might miss it 2-3 times, and then finally a 15-incher comes and grabs it. I think that's what's happening with both the Glide and this Scamper right now. I have got a couple of smaller fish to bite it, but man, this is so fun. I'm like shaking because I'm getting so many bites. There's fish everywhere around me, and it's crazy because we just graphed up a few, and we knew there was a few in the area. I didn't think there was this many in the area. We're basically just using the context clues of the current and this little pinch point to narrow down where these fish are, and obviously it helps graphing them up, but you can use this knowledge to find these fish without any electronics, just a map and an idea of what the current stuff is doing. And man, there are fish everywhere around here. I just kind of am waiting for them to bust, blow up, and I'm firing that direction. But with so many of them up here, I think I could also just be kind of randomly fan casting if they weren't busting and still getting bit, just kind of throwing out here and just winding this bait in. I'm only kind of on this one half of this deal too. I mean, I'm on kind of this island side. There's more fish pushed down this whole thing I've seen busting. So there's so many fish in this area. I mean, I'm not going to run out of them anytime soon. And here's what the spot looks like on active target too, if you are curious. There's fish that are about to come up and bust right in front of me here. I can see them busting, and I can kind of get my bait in front of them. There's one. Oh, he just ate it. You saw that. Look at that. Absolutely crushed it. So if you have active target, this is going to be even easier because you don't have to wait on them, and you can kind of even see which fish are better quality or not. And that's a freaking good spotted bass right there on the Scamper. Absolutely choked that thing. And obviously forward-facing sonar will make this strategy easier because you can just see the fish down there and throw at them. That's a beautiful fish. But you don't need forward-facing sonar, obviously, to catch these fish, because I caught like 5 or 6 before I even turned it on. But I do want to show you, if you have it, what it looks like. And we'll just kind of get back over here. They're busting all around me. I mean, again, I don't need the forward-facing by any means, but we do have this little ledge, or this drop, that we graphed. And there's that ledge right in front of me, about 40 feet out. Golly, there's so many of them here. And these fish are just roaming up and down this drop, chasing on the shad. And so there's fish, some bass right in front of me, 40 feet out. There's some smaller ones, there's some bigger ones. They're kind of mixing in with these shad. There's some fish about to eat my bait. Right here, come on. Oh, they're all over it. They're kind of chasing around. Golly, I'm gonna throw that Glide bait in there and see if that does anything, because we got some fish right in front of me. Again, if you have forward facing, it does make this pattern easier, but it's not mandatory by any means. And I'm actually gonna put the forward-facing sonar up and then try to find another spot that sets up like this to show you how you can replicate a pattern and show you that it's not just one spot like this, because there are probably 2 or 3 more spots at least like this around the lake that are popping off. So let's try to find one more just to kind of show you how I repeat this pattern. So I made a quick move and found another area that's set up relatively similar to the last. The creek channel is a little bit further away from this saddle, but we have another island with a point and then that saddle right there. It's a shallow spot that's gonna be very easy to target without forward-facing sonar, because those fish are gonna be up there kind of shallow if they're there. So let's see if they're up here. It matches our pattern, and ideally what I'm looking for on this area are obviously fish, also the presence of bait fish, and see if there's some isolated boulders or things I might be able to target, because I know there's some rock and stuff in this area. So we're gonna look for all those things. The main thing is we just wanna see a lot of bait fish activity, because I think that's what made that last spot a little bit special. There was so much bait in that area that those fish were just kind of corralled in there, and again, they had that little high spot to ambush them on. It was just perfect. So if we can find a little bit of bait up here and maybe see a few fish on side scan, 2D, we should be in business. So let's kind of roll through here. These fish might not be as likely to be chasing and stuff either. They might be more setting up like on rocks and stuff. So we may have to throw a shaky head, Ned rig, swing head, stuff like that. So I'm not saying we're gonna catch them on the exact same baits necessarily, but I do want to see if there's anything up here that kind of matches what we're doing. I'm not seeing anything that jumps off the screen at this moment, but let's kind of keep graphing just here for a few minutes. There's some nice rock out to the right. That rock over there looks pretty good, though it's a little bit deeper than I'm kind of hoping to fish. We are coming up a little bit shallower here on some little isolated rock piles. Looks like there's some rock I even marked with some Google Earth waypoints, so maybe they're up here on this shallower rock stuff. There's a one fish right there on 2D. Oh, there's some fish right here again. Oh my gosh, they're loaded up here again, guys. Oh my goodness, following the pattern. That is awesome. That's just a deep rock right there. They are all over this. Oh my gosh, right in this saddle, they're just stacked. Oh my gosh, look at that. All these are bass. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are loaded here again. This is crazy. He's gonna be perfect. Throw that Scamper Rig right over the top of this deal too. Man, this is exciting. Right on that spot, right where we thought they were gonna be. That current, again, is pushing right now through this channel, across here, and then into this channel. So it's pushing across. Oh, this is so cool. Exactly what we're looking for. Let's make sure we don't get too close up on this thing, and we should be good to go. Yeah, we're still good. Let's catch some fish here. Got him right here. Oh my gosh, good one. Oh, Smalley jumping on me, guys. That is awesome. He waked that thing right on the surface, right on this spot. Oh my goodness, that was so cool. Get up here, fish. That's a good Smalley too. Oh my gosh, he waked that thing. These Smalley are right on this rock pile, just throwing that Scamper Rig. I love the Scamper Rig, guys. I'm telling you. I didn't get their bait on here, but this thing is so good. There we go, guys. That Scamper Rig is deadly. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely try out a core tackle Scamper, because they catch a lot of fish. You get a lot of numbers on them. Oh golly, they just love to eat it and bite it. These little guys can't quite get in their mouth. There's one. The little guys are struggling to get in their mouth. These better quality fish seem to be eating it, and I actually really like that about this rig, because when you catch one, it's going to be a freaking good one. These are all keeper smallmouth out here. Absolutely good ones right there. Beautiful fish. I had like 3 hit it on that cast. I need to bring my whole box of Yamamoto D-shads out, because I keep putting my box away. I'm going through all of my baits today. I barely have any left. This Yamamoto D-shad is my favorite trailer on that Scamper Rig. And what we have, we spot lock here, again, is a 4/0 1/32 ounce. Just thread that thing. I like to rig it so that the hook comes through the belly. That's the #1 trick I've found. We have it on the packaging backwards because I figured this out later, but I would rig it through the belly. It gives that bait a vibrating action. I'll put a clip of it up as it kind of comes back to the boat. And if you reel it really quick, it has a ton of drawing power, because it kind of acts like a mini chatterbait under the water. So in this clear water, and even in some of the more stained water, it pulls those fish from a really long distance, and they'll come up and just crack it. It's so fun, and it's a great way to fish, because you can make a lot of casts, burn your reel handle in. Oh god, you hit it right there. I think sometimes you just burn it so fast that they come up and just want to kill it, but it pulls fish from such a good distance. I find that when I'm on like a group of 3+ pounders with this rig, they all just choke it. And there's something about this D-shad, maybe it's just a little bit big of a bait for the forage, because right now a lot of these fish are feeding on really tiny shad. I don't know if that's the case or what's going on, why I'm getting so many to kind of just slap at it. I do know some guys like to throw a treble hook with this bait. I don't like throwing a treble hook too much though, if I can avoid it, just because these fish will choke it and then you'll get it too deep down their throat. But if you did want to add a little stinger treble hook, you can add it just right here. Just put like a treble hook on there and put a little stop there, like a trailer hook keeper, some plastic tubing or whatever. I just don't do it because I don't like when the fish choke it and then they get it too deep in their mouth. But I know a lot of guys will do that, and it improves that landing ratio a little bit. But I mean, regardless, they're cracking it. This is so fun. Absolutely loving this. Now you can obviously fish this Scamper Rig like a regular Fluke, so you could cast it out there, just do twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause. And it has that same just regular Fluke motion. And a lot of times those fish will eat that bait really well like that too, and you can just kind of throw this down the bank, do whatever. I just really like that burning and stopping. I feel like it triggers some extra reaction strikes out of these fish. So I'm always doing the burning, stopping retrieve myself to really take advantage of that scampering motion. There's fish following it right there. They're just sharking around this thing. It also is weird. It seems like I can catch 2 fish on the scamper, and then I have to put it down for a bit because these fish almost like go and tattletale on me, or they get conditioned to it or something. And then I pick up a different bait, and then I can put the scamper rig or pick it back up in like, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and then they'll start eating it again. It's just, I think these fish get kind of conditioned pretty quick to these baits, which is so weird to me. Oh golly, he came up and hit that thing right at the boat. Oh my goodness, what happened here? Look at that. This is what's been slapping at me this whole time. I don't know how I hooked that fish. I hooked him straight through the back somehow. That's what's been hitting me this whole time. Look at these tiny little fish. They are pulling my shorts down. They're messing with me. I finally got one of them. Makes me feel a little bit better because those are the fish that are biting out here. Everything's coming up and hitting this thing. And so I've been missing a bunch of fish on this bait, and it's been driving me crazy because I'm like, how are so many fish hitting it and not getting it? They're all just that size. So on beaver, I mean, you're not dealing with always the biggest fish in the lake. A lot of times the fish actually aren't that big in beaver, but when you do find an approach or a bait or something that does get quality keeper bites, it's something that I really start to believe in because it's not that easy. Oh, one just smashed it right there. It's not that easy to catch 15 inches out here at times, especially without forward-facing sonar. With the forward-facing, it's a little bit easier, but without it, having a technique like this where I'm just consistently catching keeper smallmouth, keeper spotted bass on this deal, a really good sign. In addition to that little glide bait, I have a really good 1-2 punch going right here. And the glide bait with this spot, I threw it a few casts, didn't really get any bites. And it's hard to get up there because, oh my gosh, busting over here. Hard to get it out there because it casts so bad, but those are some good ones right there. Come on. Oh my God, oh, come on. Oh no, he got off. That was a big one too. How did he miss that thing? Okay, so I got the forward-facing sonar out, and there's that rock pile where we saw a few of those fish on downscan 2D. There's a ton of bait up there, a ton of bait. There's a lot of random fish. There's also just kind of fish on the periphery, just kind of swimming around. After I've caught 2 or 3 fish off that spot though, they've kind of cooled off, but I have seen some fish kind of busting out here to the right and the left, and these are the fish that a lot of guys are targeting nowadays. Not on the obvious stuff, but kind of just roaming around out here. And if you do have forward-facing sonar, these are the fish I would be targeting right now. You can actually see these fish at like 60 feet kind of swimming around out there. These are the fish I would be targeting. Oh, here comes one. Oh, come on, eat it. He just tried to, I got smacked right there. You can see him now and watch him come get your bait, which when they're schooling, it's a lot easier to see them, but when they're just kind of randomly out here, it's a lot trickier. You can also figure out what maybe the best bait is to get them to bite on that given day. Maybe I need to be throwing a different, oh golly, a different type of minnow or a different size bait. You can read their behavior. I don't want to talk, too much about the forward facing, obviously, because not everyone has it, but it's a very effective tool if you do have it. And it makes fishing this type of area obviously a lot easier. Here comes a fish on this glide. Oh, come on. I'm going to try to let that glide sink down there at 40 feet to all these fish. Come on, come on. Come on. One of you just come eat it. There's a bunch of them down there. Come on. Eat that glide. My goodness. They're just kind of randomly, come on. Oh, oh. They're just randomly out here chasing on this little current break spot. I can see him right here. It's like a 2-pounder on that glide. So you can do that kind of stuff. And I mean, it's interesting. It can be fun, but you can also target some of these fish that might be on these isolated boulders and things that are out here, because these fish aren't just going to be setting up on these current related areas on those little high spots. Because there's a big saddle here, there might be an isolated rock or boulder. So let me see if I can find one of those that's holding a fish. We can try to target it. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about right here, guys. We have a little isolated rocky spot or rock pile. This is what these fish a lot of times will set up on in these saddles and things, especially when they're a little bit less active. My bait's falling at 60 feet. You can see there's a fish that's coming up to look at my bait right now. They're pretty aggressive today, but a lot of times you have to get that bait right around these little rocky spots, man, they're busting. I need not be doing this. This is not necessarily the thing to be doing right now, but when the current gets really heavy or when these fish push to the bottom, this is what I'll do. I'll actually use forward-facing sonar, work a bait right over the top of these little small pieces of cover that are hard to see, and you can catch some really nice fish doing it. But right now with these fish up and chasing, I mean, there's not really a point to be doing this, but I did want to show you for those who are interested, because that's what I would do if you don't see the fish, you know, chasing and busting. But right now, I'm gonna pick that Scamper Rig back up, because that's obviously the deal. One just busted literally right over here too. No forward-facing sonar needed for these guys. Nice, just watch them bust. Reel that thing right by them. But again, these fish will push to the bottom, and a lot of times you can drag a jig or you can throw a little swim bait and different things. Right now they're just choking that Scamper Rig though. Beautiful spotted bass. So many fish today, guys. This is such a fun day. Unbelievable day. Catching them like crazy. That Scamper Rig, guys, is the deal. If you're not throwing it, you are missing out for sure, because the fish on your lake have just not seen this before. There's not that many guys who have it right now, and so it's just way more effective, I find, than like shaking a minnow or doing a lot of other stuff you can be doing, even throwing like a topwater and stuff like that, because that bait just goes through the water and they can't stand it. Again, didn't need forward-facing sonar on that because they literally just blew up right here. But if you have it, you can look around, find these fish. I mean, look at those fish out there on the bait. Oh my gosh. Straight ahead, 80 feet out. See if I can get my bait down to them. They are going crazy down there. Oh, they're looking at it. Come on. Are they on it? Oh yeah, they are. Come on. One of you come get it. Oh, eat it. Just get it. They're all over it. Look at them all. 20, 30 feet out. There's like 5, 6 of them on it. Oh, there he is. Right at the boat. He got it. Came up and cracked that thing. Another smallie. I mean, guys, they are just choking that thing. Oh, popped out on me. Nice fish right there. Another keeper smallmouth bass on the old Scamper Rig right out in front of the boat here. Choking it. Look how many fish are up here. It's unbelievable. Crazy. It also seems like whenever these wakes and stuff come through, these fish get even more active. It's kind of wild. Like, it definitely gets them excited. So don't get annoyed if like a jet ski or somebody goes right over your spot, because a lot of times they can get these fish fired up. This fish on my bait right now. Come on. Oh, he hit it. Ah, he hit it. I pulled it away right as he was about to, I didn't think he had it. I actually reeled it right when he had it. I think that's maybe what's happening some of these times, is I am reeling it without knowing, especially without the forward facing. I'm reeling it right as they're about to eat the bait, and I'll give them a second to eat it, which is kind of tricky because you have to get the timing right. The forward facing, maybe I could just wait on them a second, let them kind of get that bait deeper. But when you don't have the forward facing, you're just kind of reeling it and burning it and stuff like that. So maybe I need to be waiting an extra second between the time when I burn it and stopping it, because maybe they're just about to grab it. Well guys, we were only out here for about 3 hours, but we absolutely smashed them. Most of those fish came on that core tackle Scamper Rig, 4-aught 1/32 in a Yamamoto D-Shad. This is a great combo. It puts a ton of fish in the boat. It's great both shallow and offshore here. Also caught a couple of fish on that Bent Bill Customs Little Bender glide bait. I only caught a couple on it, but it was really fun catching on that as well. And these current areas are going to be very effective on a bunch of different lakes across the country right now with all the rain, especially if you're in this kind of Oklahoma, Arkansas area. And these type of spots work not only on these deeper, clear lakes, but on a lot of these shallower, dirtier lakes. They're still busting all over. Like, I could be casting and just catching right now. And it's so fun because we found 2 areas that were absolutely loaded up, and hopefully understand how I located them, the thought process I was using, and I explained it well enough. Also, let me know what you think about the use of forward facing and non-forward facing. I always ask about it, but I personally just enjoy catching it without the forward facing more. And I caught plenty of fish, actually more fish without it than with it, though I wasn't using it for that long. But either way, let me know if you find it useful if I add it in there, just to show you what's going on under the water, if anything, but obviously catching them first without forward facing to show you that it is possible. So let me know if you like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking about doing going forward. And other than that, thanks for checking out this video. I'll see you on the next one.